Good evening. It's Wednesday, July 6, 2022, and it's around 9:40 p.m. The latest news is that the Prime Minister Boris Johnson, still Prime Minister, being buoyant and saying that he's going to be having a big economic strategy launch tomorrow with the latest Chancellor, Nadine Salah. He's just sacked the Levelling Up Minister, Michael Gove. That's on top of the fact that now over 40 ministers, cabinet ministers, parliamentary private secretaries, a whole variety of various different roles have all quit. Apparently he's going to be announcing more potential cabinet ministers this evening. So does that now mean that other people are likely to be sacked or more resignations? From watching some of Prime Minister's questions earlier on to watching the Prime Minister face questions at the Liaison Committee with a group of chairs from other parliamentary select committees. Today has not been a good day for the ordinary British public. I agree with one thing that Boris Johnson has said today, and that is that the people of this country want to be concentrating on the big issues. Of course Ukraine, but of course the cost of living and a whole variety of various different issues going on in the United Kingdom. But to me, there is one person who is stopping all that from going on, and that is the Prime Minister himself. I've been watching politics for almost 40 years, right from a very, very young age. I was probably about that big. I know I'm only that tall now. I've seen the sleaze of the John Major government. I've seen the expenses that happened towards the end of the Labour government. I saw the massive fallout that happened and still happens in regards to Brexit. But never have I seen anything as toxic as what I've seen over recent weeks and months. There is no doubt whatsoever that as soon as Chris Pincher announced on Thursday evening the wrong acts that he had committed, not only should he have just resigned as the junior whip, he should have been expelled from the Conservative Party immediately because he had admitted what he had done. But no, Boris divers and dallies and everything else, and then waits until the following day and then, oh yes, we'll suspend him. The exact same thing happened with the former Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, just over a year ago. Oh no, he can stay. Whoa! Following day, ends up resigning. I backed Boris during COVID because I thought nobody else could really say what they could do during that situation, because we've not experienced anything like that for over 100 years, so nobody would know what could or could not be done. But I would have done that whoever was in charge, because of course you back you get behind when we're going through a national crisis. And I think what Boris has done regarding Ukraine has been fantastic, but still we had the issue in terms of visas not being given and everything else. But I don't back Boris when he says about sending people to Rwanda. Don't forget that people come over to this country because they are fleeing war-torn countries, fleeing their lives. It's not just a question of swimming or going across the channel. The Prime Minister has done wrong by lying. There's no ifs or buts about that whatsoever. He broke the rules in COVID when most of us were not able to do things. So the time has come now to Boris to say that time is up and it's time to go. And whoever is the leader of the Conservative Party, or whoever becomes the next Prime Minister of this country, whether it's a general election or whatever, remember the decent values. You need to be integral. You need to appeal to everybody. You need to be honest. You need to be truthful. You need to lead, and you need to admit when you have done something wrong. I was a big fan, and still am, of Tony Blair. and of Gordon Brown. I still think that Gordon Brown was one of the most underestimated Prime Ministers that this country has ever had. Tony Blair won 3 successive general elections for Labour. Margaret Thatcher did the same for the Conservatives. This country needs and deserves better than what we're getting at the moment. And I'm not saying whoever's in power, whatever. It just needs that decency. Because while all this is going on, people are using food banks, people are struggling to make ends meet, the energy bills and everything else. And there's people around the world that need help from this country. So on what has been a very, very dramatic day, and it's still not over yet, I will say good night and God bless, but also at the same time I say, let's hope for better. And when you know that time is up, then that time is definitely up.